Ready to rock and roll here. Gonna be a good episode. Hello, everybody. It is an exciting day for me. I'm here joined by Joel Jaimes. I'm going to make an introduction for him, and we're going to learn a little bit about Joel. Topic of discussion today is burn the boats, baby. Get rid of them. Get rid of them in your life. When you make a decision, move forward. And sitting here, we work here together every single day. So we were trying to figure out, like, well, where's your camera going to sit? How are they going to not hear me? How are they going to hear you? And we kind of got to the point where we're like, yeah, let's just go chill over here and we'll have the conversation sitting together.
That's right.
Joel, let them know a little bit about you and we'll dive in.
Hey, so my name is Joel. I'm here with the Adams Group Experience. I've been here for about 6 months now. I love it. So far, the culture has been great. We've learned a lot, and everybody helps each other. And that's really what I enjoy about it. And I'm learning a lot.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And, just to preface things here, tell a little bit about your backstory, like what got you started in real estate? What did that journey look like? And then how did you get to the topic of discussion here? Like, how did you get to a decision made to reinvest your time into real estate?
Okay. So I've been in sales my whole life, from Albertsons to Sweet Bay and so forth, mostly alcohol sales, beer sales. The time for me to move on from that happened. I was let go at J.J. Taylor. And I was kind of considering my career, but where I was going to go to next. Sales, something that's obviously comes natural to me. I've had so many years of experience at it. So I love helping people. And I like seeing people's dreams come true. So that's really kind of what got me started to thinking about, well, what's the best way to help somebody, or how can you make a difference in somebody's life? Help them find their house, and not just a house, but a home. Really kind of solidified that for me, that this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go, in helping people. So initially I started out with Keller Williams. I did interview 3 companies. Keller Williams EXP was actually one of them. And at the time, there was a little bit smaller. Knowing what I know now, I should have gone with EXP. The stock options would have been a lot better.
The stock was a little sicker back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, I definitely would have a lot more money in the bank. But Keller Williams provided a lot of training. They have a great culture also. I'm not knocking on them. But there was a ton of training, a lot of hard work going into it. Went through their Ignite class, which is a step-by-step 12-week process. And I learned a lot. What was lacking was, I guess, some mentorship for me. I joined a small group of 4 agents led by Michael Shore, and the guy's smart. He got a PhD in engineering, but it was kind of a side hustle for him. So he provided that knowledge piece, but he didn't provide the hunger, the wanting to get out there and really grow your business. So after looking around, I actually met James through pool. Yeah. So we got through talking. The value that he provided to me made it worth it for me to come over to his team. Since joining his team, in the beginning, I did have another job. So I became full-time job.
Oh yeah, full-time job.
So I became one of those agents that's a struggling agent, full-time job, trying to make the dream come true, but just didn't have the right direction. I think I got a little bit of clarity with that, and I started to shift my focus more into real estate, and obviously the other job kind of fell by the wayside.
So just a segue there, right? Like, this is something where there's a ton of people that are going to watch this, where they've got a dream, right? It doesn't have to be real estate. It could be any business. Before you got to make that decision, like, what were some of the bills, the life, the people you had to talk to get, like, you, I mean, it's a hard thing, right? Like, it's nice to have blessings of people involved. It's nice to know what's going to happen with your bills. Like, what were some of the things that thoughts that went through your mind as you were, considering making a decision,
Right.
but like you were getting pulled back because you had a good paying job. You had a job that paid very well. And what were those thoughts? What were some of the considerations?
So obviously it's scary, when you're trying to think, you're thinking of going from a good paying, steady job, going to work for yourself. And really you're held, nobody holds you accountable. You're working for yourself. Now, in this group, we have our own accountability meetings and stuff like that. But ultimately, I had to make that decision. My biggest fears, like anybody else, I'm sure, is, being able to pay the bills, being able to support your family with, without a steady income. So you have to work twice as hard. You have to hold yourself accountable. Get up every morning. Know that you have to make those calls, book those appointments. You can get a lot of rejection. You can't let that stop you. You have to continue.
Awesome, man. One of the things that I absolutely love about you, and I appreciate you giving me kudos, but like, this really comes back to you. One of the places where we align is that we love people, right? So like, when you love people, you answer some of the most important business questions that you could ever answer, because the way that you find the solution has the client or customer in mind. And the way that you progress through that, I knew that you would always be successful. And I appreciate you. I appreciate being in business with you. It's an incredible opportunity to me to learn from you as well. One of the things that I want to touch on for this video, right, is you got to that place where you made the commitment. Like, you knew that you were going to be leaving your job, and you had a go date, and you were all in. Like you had made a solid commitment. And I mean, I'm going to let you tell them. So basically, guys, that solid commitment was about 35 days ago is where he finally decided that. And at the time, his production level was down. He didn't have any pending. And, he was working with several different clients, but that's where it was at. So I'm going to let you. So what happened over the last 35 days?
So, like I said, I had a full-time job, working Sunday through Thursday. So really, I try to schedule all my appointments for Friday and Saturday. And I was letting a lot of people go, trying to find excuses, because, I don't want to necessarily tell people that I'm doing something else, because then, you think that, you're just a part-time agent. So,
yep.
Like I said, I started progressing away from it. Once I made that decision to go ahead and go full-time and really go all in, because, the amount of leads we had were numerous, and I'm just leaving just money on the table. And coming to that realization is really what finally made me go with that decision. So a little quick story. Right when I made that decision, I was at work. I was taking, calls, working from home. I get a call from one of the agents at my homes saying that a house, a Barcelo bonus in Talavera came available. I knew the client right away. This client had been waiting for months for this house. And no matter what, she knew what she wanted. She didn't want to settle. But as soon as I got that call, I logged off. I called her right away and I said, get down here now. We got her under contract that same day in hours. I mean, literally, from the time I got the email to the time we started the contract was probably 2 hours.
You want to talk about urgency. So like, just to put that into, I know there's several people watching. So right now, we're so far ahead of it that if a house is 5 months out and it's getting released on a Wednesday, we're trying to know about it the Wednesday before, because guess what? If that house gets released and it's 5 months out from being built, it's gone in a day. So we're ahead of that. This is a situation where they had a buyer. It was in the end stage. So they're just 60 days out from having a new homeowner. And all of a sudden he gets the call and it's the house for his client. What you going to do there?
Drop everything. At that point, I just dropped everything and I called her. I said, I literally told her, I was like, I'm shaking. This is the one for you. And she trusted me just by my tone, my sense of urgency, and just working with me. She knew that this was something for her. I was serious about it.
So just like, she trusted you because she trusts you, right? Mm-hmm. But because she trusts you, when she heard that tone in your voice, she's like, yeah. I mean, it didn't matter. She walked out of lunch, right? Like, it didn't matter what it was. she was going to get after there. And that comes from you as a person, right? Like that trust and that rapport you built with her. It gave her that opportunity. And also like your dedication, even though you were working another job, you put the bugs in the ears that needed to happen in order to get that phone call.
Right.
That was a huge phone call, right? Like that's a layup for maybe 10, 20 agents that have been in there, but they called you. And that's because you went in there and built trust and rapport with that person.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, we have Mike and Hope in that model center, and I built a relationship with both of them. So as soon as something comes available, they let me know, whether it's a lot, whether it's something that fell through. Unfortunately, another family lost out on that deal, but it just happened right for our clients. And once that decision was made, everything snowballed. So I went from having a huge gap in my business. I was still doing the things that needed to get back in there, but I wasn't putting in enough time to make it successful. So once that happened, once I let go of the other place and that I knew that I wanted to do this full time, like I said, it snowballed. I went from not having absolutely zero pendings closed to having 6 under contract right now. Six. And possibly 7 within the last 30 days.
Yep. It was bam, bam, bam. And so the title of this video, I'm sure some of y'all have seen that, is Burn the Boats. And this is a conversation that we had several times. I was fortunate enough that because of my background playing pool and things have happened in my life, I've had my back against the wall my entire life, right? So like I know the value of that. And when you decided to burn those boats, there's something to jumping out of the plane, right? Like the free fall and all that's fun, but the part that is really exhilarating is those couple of steps before you get past it, right? Like before you're actually outside of the plane, because you still got options. You haven't committed to it yet,
right?
But once you jump out of that plane, you're probably scared for a little while, and then all of a sudden you start to marvel at all the beautiful things that the world has to offer. And following that, those 6 came in 35 days, guys. Most agents sell 4 or 5 homes a year, and he's done an average agent's yearly production in a month, which is incredible. I looked up the numbers. Let me pull them up real quick. It was pretty impressive. So
we have 6 under contract.
Let's see what the gross is. So sales volume in your last 35 days, you've sold $2.134 million worth of real estate. The pending GCI, so the gross commissions earned from that entire amount, is just shy of $56,000. And that's from you making that commitment and believing in yourself and trusting that you're going to do what it takes. Dude, I was so pumped to do this video because you're someone that deserves success. You're an incredible human being, and you're someone who truly loves people. I want you to know that. And I appreciate you, and I want to see you succeed at the highest level.
You are 100% correct. I mean, it was scary to think leaving a regular steady paying job. But once I dipped my toe in the water, it kind of felt that cold chill at first, and then all of a sudden you get comfortable with it. And now it's about not just being comfortable with it. I have to continue to grow. I have to continue to scale. I have to get that next contract and keep going. Otherwise, it's all for nothing. But I've gotten a great start, and that's because I've gone all in, and I have a full database that I know I'm going to be killing, and we're going to be finding those people houses.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. And just let people know, when you're struggling and you have dreams and you can see how to make them a reality, I totally get why people hold back. Like why people decide that they're okay where they're at, right? Like their bills are paid, they're comfortable, like things are okay, but we only live once. And the biggest thing that it took for me to go on my own, and it's something where I love the culture of where I am, is support, man. Like trust. Like when you have a great idea, in order to make it an incredible idea and then know how to implement it, it takes other people, right? Like we all got to collaborate together in order to build something massive. And that's probably the biggest thing that you said, scale in there. I mean, the partners that we have with us here are incredible to where, like, I mean, if we want to scale up to $100 million in revenue, we definitely can. Or $100 million in gross sales. Yeah, buddy.
That's what I love about EXP is their whole culture. There's nowhere else I've been that everybody's willing to share their ideas with you, no matter what. I mean, you can literally call up any of our top producers, Veronica, Carlos
Gurman and Gil Ramos.
And these guys are like, I think Veronica has how many sales?
So Veronica built a business where her team last year did over 800 sales.
So over 800 sales. That's unthinkable for me. I can go and call up, I can pick up the phone and give her a call, and she'll take her time. We'll set up a time in the calendar, but she'll pick up for me, and she'll set some time aside for me, and we'll talk and discuss business and how to grow. And same thing with Carlos. Carlos is a super great asset. Every Monday they do an accountability meeting, and they throw around ideas, and it's open. I mean,
how about good old Uncle Brent Gove?
Yeah,
Uncle Brent Grove.
Brent Gove. So actually, I made a commitment to go to Dallas.
Yeah, baby.
In August, I'm going to get to go to one of those conferences.
Tony Robbins.
Going to see Tony Robbins, one of the best motivation speakers around, probably the best ever. Brent Grove paid over $1 million to bring him in. And
let's hash on that real quick. So anybody watching, like, there's a bunch of feelings from real estate agents about what EXP is, but there's a model to it. And Brent Gove has become very successful through this model. And that dude loves to give. Like he literally out of his bank accounts paying Tony Robbins. If y'all have looked up Tony Robbins, to go to one of his events, it costs about $5,000. He's paying him directly $1 million out of his bank account just to share his love, right? Just to give agents an experience. And we can go to that event for 400, not 5,000.
Right.
Sick. I'm pumped for that.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to, hopefully network with a lot of high level agents.
Hell yeah.
And just grow my influence.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that.
Dude, I love you, brother. There. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the rest of this year and to see where you go. And you got anything you want to leave them on?
Just, if you have a dream, just dive right in. Took me a little while to come around, but once I've dove in, I'm all in. I'm up every morning making my calls, searches, scheduling appointments. Just go out and do it. That's the only way to do it.
Hell yeah, that's enough for us to finish on, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And until next week, that was the Power Hour.